Hi, welcome back. Today I had some various ideas about what I was going to film this week, but it is currently 100 degrees out and we still have a couple of hours of the heating, before we hit our peak temperature today. I thought what I would do instead of something that requires a little bit more of a plan is just play around with what the most minimal makeup look I can do is to kind of balance things out and be able to add a little bit of color. So that's what I'm going to go for today, and I'm also going to try to keep it quick because it's kind of warm and stuffy in here, and I would honestly rather just be in the coldest part of the house doing nothing. So, but I also really enjoy making videos and being able to chat with you all. So if you're new, welcome in. I'm Audrey. I make videos about makeup, skincare, dealing with rosacea, dry skin. As you can see, I'm pink and rosy from the warm weather for sure, and just the different ways that we can use makeup as a source of expression and fun and to be ourselves out there in the world. So if those things interest you, then I hope you'll subscribe. I know a lot of the folks are also dealing with hot weather now, so I probably shouldn't complain about it too much. We're not special. And certainly we're not dealing with a hurricane like the folks in Texas. I really hope you're staying safe if that's you, if you're affected. We're at, I don't even know how many days, I think this is day 6 of this heat wave, and I am so over it. Even though I have all the blinds closed, I'm not going outside. Technically I don't need sunscreen, but my order from Yes Style arrived, and so I have a couple to try out. So I'm wearing one of them. It's the, I think, Heartland moisturizing something. I'll put the full name in the description, as always with all the other products. But it feels nice. Moisturizing enough. I don't want a lot on my skin right now, and not too tacky or sticky or anything. So I'm looking forward to wearing this more and seeing how it goes for me. I think I'm going to start with the sort of brightest thing that I want to put on my face, and that's this lipstick. It's the Sephora Shine lipstick in the shade Cosmic Coral, which looks like this. And if I didn't have pink rosacea skin, I might just put this on and call it good, But what I find is that when I do this, it really draws out the pink. It makes it, to me, a lot more vibrant, which if that was my blush, then I would probably want that effect. Even though I'm absolutely okay going out without anything, to cover it up. Once I start adding color, I like to feel like the rosacea isn't more highlighted than it would have been before. And so that's when I start trying to balance things out. So now I've got this part. The next thing that I think I'm going to add is the e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener, this pale pink thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the usual places under my eyes to create more of an even skin tone in those areas. And even though it's an under eye product, really you could use it anywhere that you want that kind of coverage or that kind of effect. Because I tend to get kind of a red dry patch here at the bridge of my nose, I've been putting it here sometimes. And then the inside of the nose here, it is spreading so smoothly. Normally it feels a little, just a little stiffer. Right now I feel like everything's so warm I could just paint it on, which I guess today is helpful. Maybe a little bit more up here. So there's that. I think I now look very hydrated under the eyes as well. Next I'll do my brows just to further help define the face. And I think I'll use the e.l.f. Wow Brow Tinted Brow Gel. This is the shade Taupe. And I'm not even going to worry about being too tidy with that. Just get the color on there and give it a little bit fluffier of a shape to my brows, which will help them stand out better and again, just help create that definition for the face. So now that I've done that, the pinkness doesn't feel as obvious to me from here up, but I do absolutely still feel it strongly here on these parts of my cheeks and around my mouth especially. So the next thing that I'm going to make use of is the L'Oreal Prime Lab 24-Hour Redness Eraser. This is a green tinted primer, and it's not a very bright green, it's pretty muted. So I should be able to put a little bit of this on by itself. I'll start with just a little bit. The package warns that it's flammable until dry, which I guess I shouldn't be too worried about, but that's always kind of an odd thing to see on a product. So I'm just going to use my fingers to put this in the pinkest areas that I want to even out. A little bit here. And I'll need a little bit more. Goes on looking quite green, but it really shears out. And since I don't have an olive undertone, I really want to make sure I don't end up greenish. Let's see, a little bit up here. And what's nice about using something like this is that it is really lightweight feeling. It isn't any heavier than, you know, the sunscreen that I put on earlier. And probably thanks to whatever thing makes it potentially flammable, it dries down really well. You know, it won't feel like it's going to move around. All right. Feels pretty good. Could put maybe a little bit up here. So there, I'm already a lot more evened out. It wasn't deliberate that I picked a green washcloth, but the primer definitely doesn't stand out on this. So now the thing I think I want to do next is just to put a little bit of spot concealer on the areas where there's like a particular red spot, like, you know, maybe here and here. And I think the simplest way to do that will make use of my go-to face pencil from Jones Road. This is shade 1. So I'm just gonna dot it on the places where I think I want it. One of my cats is very interested in coming in here. It is not happening. No, it's not happening. Let's get some there. Clawing at the door will not make it happen. Well, if you hear yowling, he's fine. He's just maybe a little bored. So I'll just kind of use my finger to work that in. Again, just keeping it pretty light. I'm not covering everything. I think that's about where I want it for the base. So not everything is covered, but it just brings the sharpness of the color down, you know? Kind of helps make everything feel a little bit blended into my face and less like any particular part of it will stand out. I think for sweat resistance and also to maybe potentially blur out some of these bits around the middle of my face, I'm going to powder just a tiny bit with the Kosas Cloud Set. This is the shade Airy. And then I'm just taking this fluffy powder brush, not a big one. I keep picking up things expecting them to have a mirror and then they don't. I'm fine with, you know, saving the money on the packaging and all that, but even that's enough to not make the pores on the center of my forehead there stand out as much. Then I can do here to kind of also soften the edge of the eye socket there. And the sort of inside of my cheek. And a little on my chin. And that also helps things feel a little bit more polished. I was thinking about using the About Face Fluid eye paint to do a little simple eye makeup. I'm just worried though that this kind of weather tends to make my eyes feel really dry, and I don't want to put something on there and then kind of have it amplify that. So I'm not certain. I think what I'll do is I'll swatch it a little bit on the back of my hand and see just texture-wise how it's feeling, and decide from there how I feel about putting it on my eyes today. So I have just a little dab. And I picked this up not too long ago, but I haven't actually used it yet. I think I swatched it one other time just to kind of get a sense of how it blurred out. It's a nice soft brown color. But I think even that's going to feel like too much on me today, so I will save that for a future video when it's perhaps just in the 90s. Because I think once this dries down, it's pretty solid. It's not too likely to wear off, you know? This might be even a little too hot to be testing that. I saw a reminder on Instagram that a lot of waterproof products are not sweat-proof or oil-proof, you know? I mean, oil cleansers is usually how you take them off, so if it's hot enough that you're getting super oily, you might find that the, no budge eyeshadow products are suddenly moving around a little bit more. So I think that's just where I'm going to stop today. You know, it's not very complex. It's pretty simple. It's fast. It doesn't have a lot of things that are likely to look worse if I happen to, touch my face, wipe it off or whatever. I might have a little bit less maybe of the color corrector in places or something like that, but probably I could just powder a little bit on top of it and it would look fine again. And I think if you are somebody who really doesn't like how their eyes look, just, bare, no mascara, etc., then probably using something like this eye paint to just, add a little bit of color on the lid, and then either a tubing mascara or whatever your most smudge-proof option is, I think would be a nice addition to this. I just know that for me today, I would be a lot less comfortable if I went that direction. But if you want to see me come back to this idea and do a version later that does incorporate something like that, let me know, leave a comment. The other thing that I want to remind you to do is I'm going to do a Q&A video for my birthday next week. And there's a post over on the community tab where you can leave your questions or comments, something that you want me to talk about more, and I will try to include it in the video. It's okay if you leave a comment here on this too. It'll just be easier for me to find everything and make sure that I wrap it all together if it's on that one post. But you just go to my YouTube page and then click on the community tab and it'll be right at the top there. I hope you're all able to stay cool and safe in this hot weather. I know with it being early July, we've still got a fair amount of time for these things to keep happening, and it can get pretty exhausting, especially when it's multiple days like this. And locally, we've had our nighttime temperatures in the 70s, which I talked about in that summer skincare video, is one of the things that puts people especially at risk for heat exhaustion and heat stroke, to have things stay so hot throughout the entire 24 hours that your body really never gets a chance to recover. There's just an extent that the body can't handle, right? No matter how young, healthy, whatever you are, bodies can only do so much. And so, we can do our part to take care of ourselves and really give ourselves the best chance of getting through this safely. So find some place to cool off if you can. Remember to drink water, get your electrolytes in so that you don't run into trouble from that. I'll be back on hopefully a cooler day to talk more about makeup and skincare and just getting the most out of the things that we have. I'll see you next time. Bye.